Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
We spoke to over a dozen Chinese people to find out why they oppose the bill.
像新闻总会爆出来很多黑人强奸啊这种事件，我不是针对这一个种族。
嗰啲客人咧玩咗嗰個女仔，個女仔有艾滋病，佢又玩咗另一個女大學生，個女大學生又有艾滋病。
伊斯蘭教的极端，这些大家都比较担心了。你从欧洲啊和美国的这些经历看起来都很明显，对国家对文明的发展都不是特别好。
覺得點解佢哋過嚟即係話咁中意去玩中國的女仔呢？
他们主要反对的是，不同意黑人进入到中国的这个地界上来，因为他们觉得中国人会祸害中国的女孩。
Hi my wonderful sweet babies, it's Destined Choice and welcome to my second channel. Now for today's video I want to talk about everything that's going on as far as Mrs. Rona. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube's punk ass is out here trying to shadow ban videos and hide videos, but of course they don't have that same energy for you know shitty ass, dingy ass Fox News and E! News and all these other platforms that put out nonsense and just stupid fucking misinformation that leads to a whole fucking global outrage. But long story short, I want to give my opinion on everybody talking about the whole other races shouldn't be caping for Asian people. More particularly, black people shouldn't be caping for the Asian community. And as I do that, I'm going to be fucking up my watermelon and I'll be cutting them up into slices and chunks and all types of shit. And we're going to just get right into this. So long story short, a lot of this conversation stirred up ever since the beginning of Trump calling this the Chinese, you know what?
Why do you keep using this? A
lot
of
it
people
comes
say
from
it's
China.
racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China.
I don't think that's racist because it did come from China. Well, the earliest documented case of it came from China, as far as everyone knows. So I understand why he called it the Chinese virus. Now, I've been very critical of Trump for a very, very long time. And before y'all come at me and do me, no, I'm not fucking a Trump supporter. Like, this is me thinking for myself. It came from China, so I understand why he called it the Chinese virus. Should he call it the more scientific name? Yes, I do agree about that. But at the same time, why hasn't Ebola gotten a scientific name? The Ebola virus was named after a lake in the Congo. So Ebola never got a scientific name. Then let's talk about the West Nile virus. The West Nile virus is a virus that killed damn near 3,000 people like within a year. And guess what? Instead of calling the West Nile virus a scientific name, they decided to call it the West Nile virus, which in some way, some form, kind of demonized the West Nile area in Africa. Now, you explained to me how calling this the Chinese virus is so offensive, but yet no one had the same energy for Ebola or the West Nile virus. So you see where I'm coming from here? So if we're going to say that it's offensive and disrespectful on one part, we got to keep the same energy through all avenues. You feel me? Whew. Almost broke a sweat in this bitch. Quarantine has me going crazy. But anyways, so I don't think it's fair to, try to hold Trump accountable for calling it the Chinese virus because at the same time, no one had the same energy. Now, if you guys also didn't know, there's also this huge thing going on where a lot of people are upset. More particularly, black people are upset because a woman by the name of Letitia James, if you guys didn't know, Letitia James, she's the New York Attorney General. And basically, she made it possible and she created a whole toll-free number and a hotline for Asians to report xenophobia. So if there are any Asians out there who feel uncomfortable, who feel like they've experienced xenophobia, they have a hotline, they have a toll-free number in their own little website so where they can report xenophobia that's going on with them. So Letitia James put out a statement saying this: no one should have to live in fear for their life because of who they are, what they look like, or where they come from. And due to all the assault and discrimination that they've been going through, I'm glad that she did do that for Asians. People was calling me all types of coons, telling me, oh, fuck you, I used to like you. It was really rough. Like, I had people who were part of Black Twitter tweeting me in this damn thread trying to tell me that I should be ashamed of myself trying to cape for Asians when Asians don't even like black people. And I'm like, look, here's the problem. We have to stop generalizing people as a whole because you wouldn't like people generalize you. I don't like when people generalize black women and assume that black women are ratchet, ghetto, hood, look like Precious, bald-headed. I don't like when they try to do that. So I wouldn't want anyone generalizing a group of people that I'm a part of. So why is it okay to generalize an entire group of people and say, well, they don't like us, why should I stand up for them? Listen, I'm not telling you to stand up for them. Please understand that I'm not telling you to stand up for them. All I'm saying is they deserve respect, and if I stand up for them, then that's me wanting to stand up for them because I feel like they've been done wrongfully. Because the shit that people are doing, let me show you guys a couple of these clips, because a lot of these clips are really problematic.
Their son was discriminated against by a teacher who claims he mistook coughing as a sign that the 13-year-old had COVID-19. Dylan says he was coughing because he was choking on water.
This was the first time that I've ever felt I was being treated differently for being Asian.
Racism in the time of pandemic. A young woman wearing a mask is attacked in a subway station.
Come here, sanitize your Come here.
An elderly woman is chased by a bully trying to squirt hand sanitizer on her. Harassment and assaults against Asian Americans are up sharply.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19, we have seen an incredibly disturbing, skyrocketing increase in the number of hate crimes, racist attacks, and acts of discrimination against Chinese Americans and Asian Americans.
Oh my god, why do you gotta show the black people doing this? This is so fucking annoying. But long story short, Asians don't deserve to be discriminated against because not all Asians are racist and rude and offensive, and not all Asians run corporations and businesses in the hood and disrespect black people. Not all of them are like that. So please stop generalizing Asians as if they're all the same, because it's not fair. Because I wouldn't want no one generalizing me and mistreating me. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, when the Ebola outbreak happened and black people, more specifically black people who were raised in Africa are facing xenophobia, the media didn't go up in a frenzy. And I 100% agree. The media didn't go insane. If you guys didn't know, there was a woman named Blessing. She's a woman of Nigerian descent. And basically she was studying to get her PhD in Russia. And basically, she was demonized, but she was more so treated like shit because she wanted to go back to her dorm room. And long story short, here's the video.
For 4 years, completing a PhD and running her video blog.
Hello, hi all, this is Blessing, and I hope you missed me last week because today...
Returning to Russia from a trip to Lagos, border officials checked Blessing's temperature. And seeing that she wasn't displaying any symptoms of the Ebola disease, she was allowed into the country. But when she got to her university dorms, where she's been living for years, she wasn't let in. They told her she had to go to quarantine for 10 days.
And people weren't allowed into that hospital. It was an isolated hospital. But people could maybe visit through the window and say hi, but they couldn't come in. They couldn't have contact with us. And they gave us food, and we couldn't eat the food. So many people ended up not eating, or maybe they would manage to eat because they didn't want people to think they lost appetite. I didn't have social contact with other people. It was really depressing. I used to cry a lot.
But Blessing says she was left to transport herself to quarantine, meaning strict sanitary guidelines aren't being adhered to. Nigeria's Minister for Foreign Affairs says the actions taken by some countries against Nigerian citizens are contrary to the guidelines of the World Health Organization and are unacceptable because the Ebola virus is being contained in Nigeria. This quarantine is one example of what many say is a broader issue of widespread xenophobia in Russia. Many of these incidents go unreported to the Russian authorities.
I know some of you guys are thinking, oh, by the way, this is pink Himalayan salt. I know some of you guys are thinking, I've never seen this video. Exactly, you've never seen this video, because I find it funny how a lot of these videos have been swept off the internet of black people being mistreated because of Ebola. I find it very interesting, but now this is your first time seeing this video, so I understand why a lot of people don't want to stand up for the Asian community, and you don't have to stand up for the Asian community, but we all have to admit that discrimination is discrimination, and I don't like when people try to discriminate against other people. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, they wouldn't stick up for you. Well, how do you know? Do you know every single Asian person? How do you know that there are Asian people out there who are allies? How do you know that if you do your research, you would know that there were a lot of people of different races of the rainbow who stood with people in the civil rights movement? You can't generalize an entire group of people and then get mad when they generalize you. Generalization is a form of xenophobia when it's rooted in hate and it's rooted in ignorance. Let's just be very, very clear. If you try to generalize an entire group of people based off of what one or two people did to you, that's when you lose sight of the whole. That's when we lose sight of the whole of the real battle. So yeah. Oh my god. Salt and watermelon is good. one of y'all told me to try that shit, and I was like, what in the country is the fuck are y'all talking about? That's some country ass shit. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. I understand that there's a lot of instances where a lot of Asians are disrespecting black people. Trust me, I'm one of those people who have been disrespected by Asians. There was an instance where I went to a restaurant, right? And basically it was an all-you-can-eat Asian restaurant. More particularly, it was a Chinese restaurant. Go in, I want to see. They literally seat me at the ugliest table ever. There's the nice side of the restaurant, and there's the other side of the restaurant. Although I can admit that I was dressed down and I was wearing shorts and a regular t-shirt, I didn't like the fact that they kept watching me. Literally, after they sat me down, they kept watching me. And my brother, who was literally with me when we were eating dinner at the Chinese restaurant. So they're literally like just snooping by, staring at me. And guess what? They didn't just do it to me. They did it to all the other black people that were dressed down. They put all of us on one side of the restaurant, and the other side of the restaurant where the little water fountain is, the little fucking swans and goldfish are, they put them on that side. And I was so pissed. I was so fucking annoyed, and guess what? Because they mistreated me, I gave their ass a 0.0 cents tip. I don't give a fuck who you are. You treat me badly, and you treat me like shit, I'm going to come for you in particular. I'm not going to come for your entire race or group of people. I've been there. I've been in situations where I walk into a store that's particularly owned by Asian people, don't know what they were, and long story short, I came in, I was like, hey, do you guys sell this in this particular size? Do you guys have a 10XL shirt or some shit? And basically, she looked at me crazy like, no. Like, wouldn't even look at me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, I'm talking to you. That's fucking disrespectful. Bitch, have you never worked in customer service in your fucking life? You're supposed to greet people, be polite, have an open smile, have an open mind, and like at least give me a suggestion on where I can go. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say that you should target particular people who treat you like shit and not the entire race. Because guess what? People generalize black people, which is why a lot of us have all these negative stereotypes attached to us. A lot of these negative stereotypes come from the simple fact that a lot of people are ignorant about certain cultures. A lot of people are ignorant about a lot of things that we go through and things that we deal with. So they generalize us, and they make it seem like all black people from America are Southerners, tongue smacking, pants sagging, all types of shit. They make it seem like we're all this. People even make it seem like even Caribbeans and people who are from the islands, black people from the islands, are demonized. For example, a lot of people assume that every single Jamaican or every Haitian or Bahamian or someone from Trinidad or people from Senegal in general, people make it seem like all of them treat black Americans like shit. And a lot of them look down on black Americans. In a lot of cases, yes, that's true. A lot of them are very disrespectful to black people. Because I've been in situations where I've had somebody from fucking Trinidad tell me, oh, it's just you Americans that act like that. Oh, it's just you African Americans who are so sensitive. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're making it seem like all of us are the exact same, and you generalize us as a whole to make it seem like why your hatred and your dislike is justifiable. So you see how I'm coming from here? You can't justify generalizing an entire group and then turning into a, well, they don't stick up for us and they don't stand for us. Yes, there are tons of videos of Asians mistreating black people.
Get off me! I was not stealing!
You stealing?
No, I was not! You check my purse! Get off! Get off!
You hit me. No.
Get off me!
Really? Yeah, it's like you are punishing me.
It is a clip that has gone viral on social media. Chinese national identified as Liu Jiaqi hurling insults at Kenyans. In the video captured by an employee at his motorcycle shop in Ruiru, he refers to Kenyans, including President Uhuru Kenyatta, as monkeys.
This is all the Kenyans, like a monkey. Even Uhuru Kenyatta. All of them.
It's like a monkey.
Yeah, sure.
The president of this country.
Yeah, sure.
Liu, who was nicknamed Judge by his employees, brags that there is nothing poor, black, smelly Kenyans can do to him if he fires the employee.
Here.
You don't care.
I don't belong to here. I don't like here. Like a monkey people. I don't like. Talk with them. Smell is bad. And poor. And foolish. And black. Who like them?
And there are tons of videos of Asians disrespecting all types of people and thinking that they're better. Are Asians a model minority? Yes. Do some Asians like to deny that they're the model minority? Yes. But when it comes to Asians being the model minority, which it basically means the Asians are the uplifted minority. They're the minority that America likes to uphold and say, see, if these minorities can find a way and you know have all these resources, Why can't Latinos? Why can't black people? Why can't this group? Why can't that group? So you see what I mean? But I find it funny how they had a whole hotline for Asians. But I'm like, damn, bitch, where the fuck is black people's hotline? Where is the Latino hotline? Because when Trump was out here demonizing the Latinos and was saying, we need to get Mexicans out of the country because at the end of the day, they're prostitutes, they're drug cartels, they're this, they're drug dealers, they rape Americans. When Trump made all those claims, there was tons of videos going viral and xenophobia being rampant constantly because Trump's dumbass said Mexicans and he generalized them to make it seem like every single immigrant who doesn't have their papers that's in America who just so happens to be of Latin descent is a Mexican who all of a sudden is a part of a drug cartel or is a rapist. He generalized this entire group, so people assume that every single Latino that comes in this bitch is a rapist or has like 50 different kids or comes in here to steal and do drugs when that's not the case. Latinos are some of the hardest working people I've ever met in my fucking life. Literally, a lot of them are constantly being accused of taking our jobs and, oh, they're here to take our jobs, or all they do is come here and take our jobs. Oh, they drive Uber and they can't speak English, or they work this job and they could barely understand Americans. They need to learn how to understand the language. When in reality, Hispanics, the Latino community, the Latin community, they're not taking people's jobs. They're taking jobs that nobody fucking wants. The only thing that they want in this world is to be able to work freely, work happily, take care of their family, and that's what brings them joy as a people. That's what brings them joy, the fact that they can bring in money and take care of their family and escape the poverty and dangers of their country if their country was dangerous. When Trump was out here demonizing the Latin community, where the fuck was their toll number? When young black girls or young black boys are being forced to cut their dreads or their hair because it's quote-unquote unkept and it's not appropriate, where the fuck is the toll number for those people who have to straighten their hair or have to cut their locks or have to cut their braids because they're not going to get a job? Where's their toll number? So Letitia James, I respect her because if you guys didn't know, Letitia James, the woman who created the toll-free number and the website for Asians, I respect her because she's the first ever black attorney general in New York. She's the first ever black attorney general in New York, and I have a lot of respect for her because she's a really brilliant woman, and I really have a lot of respect for her. But for me, I'm just like, bitch, where's our toll number when we get told that we have to culturally assimilate, cut our hair, straighten our hair, do all types of things in order to be able to get a job? And not only that, there was also a video that went viral. If you guys didn't know, there's a video that's currently going viral of a group of Asians who basically had this to say about why, if you guys didn't know, long story short, China is not allowing foreigners, current foreigners, which means black people from Africa, black people from the UK, or black people from America, because if you guys didn't know, tons of black people from all over the world move to China because China does have a lot of work opportunity and China does offer a lot of affordable housing. So a lot of people move to China or move to Korea or move to places like Japan for affordable housing and for job opportunity. And a lot of them even go there for school. So long story short, China is basically going to make it very difficult for a lot of foreigners to get citizenship. And basically a man interviewed tons of Asians and asked them, why don't you want black people in particular getting citizenship? Because that's the most common foreigner that's found in China, black people. So basically, this is what a lot of the Asians have to say on why they don't want black people getting citizenship.
We spoke to over a dozen Chinese people to find out why they oppose the bill.
像新闻总会爆出来很多黑人强奸啊这种事件，我不是针对这一个种族。
嗰啲黑人咧玩咗嗰個女仔，個女仔有艾滋病，佢又玩咗另一個女大學生，個女大學生又有艾滋病。
伊斯蘭教的极端，这些大家都比较担心了。你从欧洲啊和美国的这些经历看起来都很明显，对国家对文明的发展都不是特别好。
覺得點解佢哋過嚟，即係話咁中意去玩中國的女仔呢？
他们主要反对的是，不同意黑人进入到中国的这个地界上来，因为他们觉得中国人会祸害中国的女孩。
Well, bitch, maybe if your ass didn't have a bite-sized penis, if your ass didn't have no shrimp dick, maybe black men wouldn't be taking your women. And all you Asian bitches, maybe if y'all ain't have no triangular shaped asses, maybe you wouldn't be so offended by black people. Okay, so let me stop. So you see where I'm going here with the bite-sized penises? Okay, see, I'm coming for those particular Asians. But long story short, y'all get the fucking point, okay? There are bad apples in every bunch, and I want everyone to acknowledge that, and I want everyone to know that I've acknowledged that. There are bad apples in every bunch. Trust and believe, there's a lot of black people that I can't fucking stand. And there's a lot of white people that I can't stand. And there's a lot of Asian people that I can't stand. But I can't stand them for who they are as people, not for something that they can't change, like their phenotypical features. So you see where I'm coming from here? Don't generalize an entire group of people if you don't want them generalizing you. You don't have to march and parade. I'm not sitting up here saying, guys, we need to team up. We need to start a parade. We need to get all the Asians together. We need to get the blacks together. We must stand for them. Asian lives matter. They're included in the black community. So you see where I'm coming from? I'm not going to do that, obviously, because I would never want people to feel like they have to stand and protest with Asians. But what I want you to do is understand that just because you had a particular bad experience with Asians, that doesn't mean you should generalize all of them, okay? A lot of Asians are racist. A lot of them aren't. So to give them shit and to claim that, you know, they ain't shit and who cares that they're experiencing xenophobia, that's just wrong. That's just wrong, and in my opinion, this just goes to show you that all the black people who do say, well, I don't care that they're experiencing xenophobia, okay, great. You're entitled to your own opinion. But if it's rooted in hate and it's rooted for dislike for Asian people in particular, you don't want equal rights, and maybe the black community isn't ready for equal rights. But let me elaborate why. You can't say you want equal rights, but you don't care when the other side is being oppressed. You want privilege if you only care about your issues. If, for example, if you're a black man that only cares about other black men, you don't want equal rights for all people. You don't want equal rights for all black people. You just want the privilege to be treated like white people. You just want the privilege of being respected like how white people are respected in the world. You want privilege. You don't want equal rights. So you can't sit up here and say, oh, well, I want equal rights. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you don't care about other people who are oppressed and mistreated, then you just want privilege. And, hey, just own it. Don't try to run from it. You just want privilege at the end of the day. Because you can't say that you're... Oh my god, this turned out to be a fucking mess. Let me just slice this shit like a regular fucking person. Yeah, you can't sit up here and say that you want equal rights, but you're going to generalize an entire group of people. It's not fair. It's wrong. It's unfair. And all issues matter. All issues matter, period. Every fucking group of people who are oppressed in the world have issues that affect them that they can't escape from. Everyone who comes from an oppressed group. Everyone. But it's not right to try to dismiss other people's issues with, oh, well, I got issues that are more important. Like, that's like me telling somebody, oh, wow, your mom died? Oh, well, that doesn't matter because my dog died and my cousin 10 years ago died and my 8 cats died and my substitute teacher died and my 9 best friends from fucking church died. So you see how I'm coming from here? You can't fucking say, well, your issues aren't that bad because my issues are worse. That's very hypocritical if you want equal rights. So, to make a long story short, you don't have to stand up for the Asians. You don't have to go protesting. But just acknowledge that everybody needs fucking respect and everybody needs the same damn energy. It's unfortunate that, you know, the media didn't give a fuck when that one Nigerian girl, when that one beautiful black queen was being discriminated against and mistreated. It's a shame that the media didn't have that same energy. And it's a shame how... You know, we didn't get a hotline, and we don't get a hotline where we're constantly mistreated, and you see constant cases, literally like almost every fucking year, of a black person dying at the hands of a cop. It's a shame, because I noticed that it's only worth being in an uproar when the model minorities are being affected. But I'm not going to blame the model minorities, aka Asians, for having the privilege of having positive stereotypes. I'm not going to blame them. Me, I like to keep the same energy, so I love everybody, and I treat everybody politely and with respect. I treat everybody with respect. I'm not gonna go out here and be abusing and trying to fucking squeeze hand sanitizer on Asians. I'm not gonna be out here trying to spray Lysol on Asians. I'm gonna have respect for Asians because at the end of the day, let's be very clear. It's funny how they didn't do this shit to black people. I know that, like, it's funny how there were other, like, I know that, there was some xenophobia going on with Ebola. I will acknowledge that. But you didn't hear any cases of people trying to run up on black people for spreading Ebola. You didn't hear none of them cases. Because if they did that shit to us, we would have fucked them up. I'm just saying. Let someone try to spit on me. Let someone try to swing on me and say, Ebola, bitch, I will kick you in your fucking teeth. Okay? Yeah. That was the right time for them to be fearful of black people, because let them have done that shit to us. It wouldn't have been pretty. Would not have been pretty. Because Asians obviously aren't known, as far as, like, stereotypes for being, like, ridiculously, like, aggressive, as far as the negative stereotypes that the media portrays. But one thing's for sure. Yeah. We're all fighting the same battle. And that's the rich versus the poor. So everyone's issues matter. Every person has privilege to a certain extent. Men have privilege. Hell, even women have certain privileges. They can get away with doing a lot of things that certain men couldn't get away with. Can we all agree? Can we all get an amen to that? But yeah. That's pretty much it. I hope people gain something from this video, and hope everyone understands that it's important to treat others how you want to be treated, and it doesn't matter if you've been treated poorly by one particular group, because I would never want someone to tell me, well, I don't like black people, or I don't date black women because, one in particular treated me like shit, so I will never ever date a black woman because they're all this, or I will never ever be friends with a Dominican person because they're colorist, or I would never be friends with, I would never date a black man because they're aggressive and they all cheat. Like, you see where I'm coming from here? You can't do that. You just can't do that. It's not fair, and it's really, really messed up to even feel like one entire, oh, I forgot, pink Himalayan salt. Y'all gotta try salt and watermelon. It's very good. I know it's country as fuck, but it's good. So, yeah. That's my bowl of watermelons. Hope you guys think it looks pretty. And yeah, make sure y'all stay healthy. Make sure you guys wash your hands. Make sure you guys subscribe to my podcast on all major platforms. Links are down below. And please understand that everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves love. And part of why a lot of people have negative stereotypes about them is because a lot of it stems from ignorance, and a lot of it stems from hatred, and a lot of it pretty much overall just stems from people not wanting to learn about other people's culture. A lot of it stems from people wanting to stay ignorant. A lot of racism stems from generalization. People think all African Americans are stupid, but that's not the case. People think that all black women are ratchet and ghetto and have like 10 kids, but hey, if you do your research, black women are proven to be the most educated minority in America. Proven to be most educated, but most stereotyped. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you're gonna go in on me, drag me, whatever the fuck it is, who fucking cares? I don't give a damn. It's your opinion, just like I'll have mine. Feel free to leave your opinions in the comment section down below. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and yeah, that's that. Videos every day, because I'm back on my shit. Ugh, hair. Bye. Mm.